welcome back to my channel, Linda's Creative Boutique. I want to come on today just to talk to you all about first, second, and third generational stamping. If you have not heard of it, I just want to come on and just show you all what it is. And is what you can see, I have my Misty out, and I really have my Misty out for the layering, just to make sure I line things up right. But inside here I have cut down an A2 size card, because A2 size is the size of, you know, your smaller cards, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. Before I get into the layering though, I want to talk to you about generational stamping. Okay. Generational stamping is good. Well, it's necessary when you're layering, number one, and it's also good when you want to create a background and have like a focal flower on your card, or whatever you're creating, whatever your project is. Okay. Now I have pulled out some of my dye inks, and these are Hero Arts. See if I can get you in frame here. And so is what I want to do is create a card front, but showing you how to do first, second, and third generational stamping. Alright, so let's see, what color do I want to go with here? Let me see. Let's go with the bubble gum. Let's go with the bubble gum first. Okay, so this is my stamp pad, and then I'm going to, let me put these up here. And then I'm going to, I have 3 stamp sets I'm going to be working with today. And these are, I don't know where I got this one from, the 418, because I don't have a paper or anything. It could have been one I ordered from AliExpress or something like that, and it didn't, it just came in the plastic, I don't know. But the other 2 are by Hampton Art, and they're the clear stamps, okay? And so let me take this one out here. Okay, so let's say on this card we want to have a floral background. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one off because I like this one. Uh-oh. And I dropped it somewhere. Where did you go? I'm always dropping something in here. Let's see. I heard it hit. Oh, there it is. The thing about these stamps, these clear stamps, like they have sticky on them, so when you drop them, like they're gonna stick to something. So you just have to kind of you know, be aware of that. They're not gonna always hit the floor. They might stick onto something on the way to the floor, like this one did. Okay, so is what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to do it on my project first, because I want to do third generational stamping. Okay, let me just get, I think I have a scrap piece of paper here. I have a scrap piece right here. Okay, so I'm not going to use my Misty right now to demonstrate this to you. Alright, let me get out one that's going to fit this stamp. I think this will work. One of my stamping blocks. Okay. Y'all, what is wrong with me? I got butterfingers. Just dropping everything. Alright. Okay, I hope this stamp is some good, because I haven't used it in a while. Okay. I'm just going to keep stamping and keep stamping. Oh, I'm in frame. Keep stamping. Keep stamping. Let me move my candle up a little bit here. Alright. So, first generational stamping is your first stamp. Okay. And I don't know if this die is going to work because it actually pulls the ink off. Okay. Second generational is you're not going to clean your stamp. You're just going to press. And you get a light image. I don't think with the dye inks, I may be able to do a third generation. But third is just you're going to stamp again. Is what you're doing is getting all of the ink off of your stamp. And you can barely see it. Let me hold it up. Now if we had used maybe one of the distress inks, or yeah, one of the distress inks, we would have been able to get each generation. Okay, and then I'm not really sure if this ink pad, because I had to press on it really hard, so it might need to be re-inked, and then I might be able to get a better impression. Let me try, let me see. Okay, it's clean. Alright, let me try another stamp pad and see if I get a different outcome. And if so, let's see. Let's try the Tide Pull. Because these stamps I have had for a long time. And so, yeah, see, this one like went right on. This one is really wet. Okay, so here's your first generation. Here's your second generation. Okay, and here's your third. You see, we got a little bit better impression on that one. So this is what we call first. Okay, this is your first generation right here. Okay, this is your second generation because this is your second stamp. And then this is third generation because that is your third stamp. Okay, so that's all it is. It's your first stamp is your first generation, second is your second generation, third generation. A lot of times card makers like to use either the second or the third, depending on your ink, the second or the third generation for creating their card background. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to create a card background, and let me get my baby wipes so I can keep my stamp wiped off. Okay, now if you watched my video on all about inks, if you remember, dye inks actually dye your paper. So it's not going to sit on top or anything. It's going to actually dye the paper that particular color that you stamp it. Okay, so let's say I want to do a background. Y'all look at me. Okay, a background, but I want to use this bubble gum because I like it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp, and then I should have kept this over here because I want to do a second generation, because I know third generation with this ink pad is not going to show up very well. So I want to do a second generation. Is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp my first generation first, just to clean off that first initial ink. Then I'm going to go to my project and I'm going to do my second. Okay, and do it again, stamp off to the side, put a flower here. Okay, do it again, stamp off to the side, and I probably shouldn't use this because it's kind of in my way. And you can always, I think I may have mentioned this to you before, but you can always go off of your paper when you're stamping. Just make sure that you have something, you know. See? Okay, I'm going to stamp off. We're going to do another little piece down here. Okay, I'm going to stamp off. So what I'm going to do is just fill my background up. Fill my background up. Stamp off. Stamp a flower here. Here. Stamp off. Stamp a flower here. Okay. I'm trying to see if I got something on my... Stamp off. I'm going to stamp one off the page here. Okay, and then I want something in this corner up here because it's just kind of empty. And I want to put just a little, let me see what angle. There. Stamp off. And I'm going to put a little piece here. Okay. Now, let me see. I got one more little spot here that looks like it needs something. Tiny bit there. Oh y'all, I did my I forgot to stamp off. See, it's easy to do when you're trying to focus. There. Actually, I kind of like that. Let me put some darker. Yeah, I kind of like that. Just put some bits, just some bits that have the darker color. One there. Maybe one there. Okay, and so that's my background. Now if I want to do, and I don't know how this is going to look, but because I could do like this in the background and then stamp a flower, and then let's see, do I want to do that? Stamp a flower. I'm trying to see if I got one that I can use here. And then fussy cut it and build my background like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stamp off because this right here is going to be my focal flower right here. And I'm just trying to decide where I want to put it. Right there in the middle. I'll put it right there in the middle. And that's my focal flower. So it's right there in the middle. Now I can go, let me see, there is a stem. So I can always add a stem. And I'm going to put my stem here. This is the same one I used yesterday actually, I think. Or similar to, it's one that's similar to it. Okay. And I want my stem to be in full color, just like my flower. Okay. It's going to be off the page. So I'm putting a piece of paper under here. And I wasn't thinking about the stem when I did this, or I would have stamped it in a different position. But this is good right here. Okay, I'm going to put my stem here. I'll make sure I'm getting it on there. And there is my flower. So this is a card base. Like I can either just keep it like this, or I can add a sentiment, which is what I'm probably going to do. Add a sentiment to it, and that's my card. That's a card. It's done. So all I have to do is you know, get my card and glue it down. I would have to cut some off though, just a little bit off the sides to be able to pull in. Let me see something here. I need a little bit right here at this top part. Let me see, can I put a little, maybe a little bit right there. Okay, because it looked kind of empty up there. And maybe do another little piece right here at the bottom, just a peak of that darker color. Just a peak. And there we are. That is a card. And like I said, I can put a sentiment, like a strip on here, put it up there. Or I can just leave it plain if I wanted to, but I wouldn't, because it looks like it needs something else. You can always use what do you call those, like the rhinestones. You can use the, what do you call that, the gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but you can put like a rhinestone or some. See these dots that I just hauled? Let's see, are they taped closed? Okay, I'm trying to open it. But anyway, I could take some of these and glue them in the center here in the pink, or I could go with the brown, you know, and glue them in the center. Oh yeah, I see now. There is a, and I need to not do this with my nails because I've already broken one. Right here, y'all, it broke down in my skin, and I hate when that happens. If anybody knows a way of mending your nails back together, let me know in the comments, because I don't want to cut that off because it's going to be down in my skin and I know it's going to hurt. Okay, this is like pulling the whole label off. I don't want to pull the label off. But that's how they have it taped. So let me put a little slit in here. And then see if I can, yeah, see if I can just pull it like that. And that still didn't get it all off. Y'all, if I had known this, I would have did this before I started my video. But I was thinking they could just screw off. Or had like a piece of tape and you could just pull it and get it off. But they're making you work to get into here. Alright, so, did I get it open? Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I was going to try to do that for you all and just show you, but I should have had those open before I started my video, but I didn't know I was going to use them. So, anyway, this is a card, okay? Okay, now that's first, second, and third generation stamping. So if anybody asks you about it, you know what it is, okay? Now we're going to get to layering. Layering, let's see. I don't know if I finished my statement about this right here, but your card base is going to be 4.5. I mean 4.25 by 5.5. So this is going to be that same size. So what you're going to want to do is cut off about 1/8 of an inch on each side, so that it'll fit your card base. What am I trying to say? Okay, say if you want to put a mat under here. Say if you want to do, let me see, do I have a darker piece of paper up here? Okay, I'll just use the back of this. I thought I had a piece of paper up here. Okay, so say you want to put a mat around it. And you know a mat is going to have like you know, that's going to be your mat. So if you want to do a mat in this color, then you could do that. Oh, and let me show you another tip. I just thought about it. Let me show you this while we're doing this. If you want, say if you want your mat to be this color, pink, but you don't have paper in your stock that color, you can take, let me get another scrap piece of paper. You can take, and I probably should have did this on my medium mat because I'm having to keep putting paper up under so I don't mess up my desk. Alright, so is what you can do is you can take your stamp pad, and let me do this, y'all, because I'm going to just use my little mat that I talked to you all about. My little Teflon, Teflon mat. So what you can do is take your ink pad and just go along like the edges. Of course, your paper, after you cut this down, now you're going to want to do a mat. If you want to do your mat, this is how you're going to do it and get that same color that's in your flower. Okay, so you'll get another piece of paper, you'll rub your ink pad on it, and then you'll put it on the back of your card. You'll glue it to the back of the card, and see, you got your mat that matches your flower. So I just wanted to give you all that tip. So what you will do, you will get a piece of paper after you cut this down. You will get another piece of paper that will go under here. You will take your actual ink pad, rub it. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just do the edges, because only the edges is going to show. The rest of it is going to be under your card. Okay? So once you do that, then you'll put it, you'll put your tape or whatever on the back of here, and then you'll just mat it, and then you will have a mat that matches your flower if you don't have paper in your stash. Okay, just wanted to give y'all that little tip. Okay, now let me clean this off. All right, now layering. Okay, this stamp set that I'm using is a layering stamp, and the way you can tell is because you're always going to have a solid piece. Take this off. I pulled this out that's the wrong one. Let me see. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, you're going to have your solid piece, and let's see, those go together, and then looks like these go together. Okay, so it's what you're going to do. Now this is going to require first, second, and third generation stamping. And I'm trying to see if I want to just do first and second. Let me do this first flower first, because it's just two pieces. Okay, you got that piece, and then you got that piece. Okay. All right, so with this one, I'm going to use this same pink bubble gum. Now, same pink bubble gum ink. Now you can look at your packaging with your flowers here. So your solid, the one that has the most solid pieces is going to be your first, is going to be your last generation, whether you're doing first, second, and third. If you're doing third, it's going to be your third generation. If you're doing, on this one, we're just going to do first and second, because we already know that that ink pad, you know, the first and second looks best. Okay, so the first layer, which is going to be the one that has the most solid pieces, is going to be your second generation if you have two. Okay, so we're going to do a second generation, and then we're going to do a first generation on the outline pieces. Okay, if we were stamping this flower right here, it'll be first, second, and third, because it has three pieces. So this will be your third, this will be your second, and this will be your first. Your outline is always going to be your first generation. I hope this makes sense. Okay, here's another one that I pulled out. Now this one has the one flower, large flower on it. So this is going to be a third generation stamping. So you're going to have your third generation, your second generation, and your first generation. So if we went in the other direction, we would go first, second, and third. Because your solid piece is always going to be your last generation. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Whatever your last generation, whether it's second or third, that's the one that's going to go first. It's kind of like you're going in reverse order. Okay? Maybe it'll, if it's not clear, maybe it'll be a little bit clearer once I start stamping. Okay? So again, we're going to use, let me get my pieces right here, because I've taken them off and kind of got them. Okay, that's the outline right there. And you can always line them back up just to look, to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Okay, so this one right here, and this is where this comes in handy. I'm going to move this one over to this side, a little bit to this side, okay? So this is going to be my second generation stamping, okay? So I'm going to get my piece of paper here that I need to stamp off on. Okay. I'm going to put, let me see. Let me make sure that's lined up. I probably should have put that. Wait a minute. Let me move this. Probably should have put this in here first to stamp off. Okay. Alright. So I don't need a lot of ink on that because this is going to be my second generation. So I'm going to stamp off. Okay, I'm going to put my project paper in here. And so I have my second stamp on there. So it's going to be this. Okay, see how light that is? Okay, now the next stamp, which is going to be my first generation, is going to be the outline. Your first generation usually is always going to be your outline piece. Okay, now I've got to line this up, and I'm going to pull this toward me so I can hopefully get this right. I'm still trying to perfect one moment, I'm concentrating. I'm still trying to perfect layering. Okay. All right. I think I have it layered. Right. We'll know in a moment. It just takes practice. I have not done a lot. Okay, so I'm stamping. If y'all can see this, I'm putting ink on my stamp. Okay. And because this is the first generation, it's going to be darker. Okay. So I'm not going to stamp off or anything. I'm just going to go. Oh, I did it. I did it. I got a little bit. Something must be on that stamp, because it left a little dark spot there. But here's layering. That's layering. Okay? And that turned out really nice. Except for that one little glob right there. I don't know what that is. Okay? But other than that, I like it. Okay? And then we're going to also do the petal like that. I mean the leaf. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because I'm done with this. I'm done with that. So now you all can see how knowing what first generation, second generation stamping is, you'll know what it is. Now this piece right here is going to go on the leaf for the little veins, okay? So is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take I don't need that. I'm going to take my leaf, my stem, and I'm going to put it here, okay? Just to kind of line it up. I think this lined up pretty good. Okay, so this is my, I'm trying to see if I pull this, excuse my head. Okay, so got this lined up. It takes a lot with, you know, trying to get this lined up, but once you get it, it's done. All right, so this is going to be, excuse me, my second generation, because the veins is going to be my first generation. Okay, it's going to be the darker image. Let me see if I can just put this in here. I don't think it'll mess up my thing here. Okay, I'm going to use this Green Hills, and I'm going to stamp, and then I'm going to stamp it off because I want to get some of the ink off. Okay, then I'm going to move this, and then I'm going to stamp my stem. Okay, there we go. All right, now we want to do the oh, why did I close that? I need it. Okay, so I'm going to line up my veins to my leaf here, and I think I got that right. I think I do. All right. Okay, I'm going to put that on my Misty here, and I'm going to get some good ink on here. Y'all see what I'm doing. Y'all know I'm just stamping. So I'm not going to stamp it off because I want those veins to show up. Okay, so I'm going to press it, and there are the veins in my leaf. And so this will make a beautiful card. I just need to add a sentiment if I choose to. I can add sequin. That's what I was trying to think of on the other card. You can always add sequin. Like I said, the dots, the diamond dots, or the pearl. What do you call them? Pearl, where you can drop your pearls down. The liquid pearls. That's what it's called, liquid pearls. And you can put them down. So this is layering. Okay, I want to show you all one more before I close this video, just to make sure you've got it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this first, second, and third, and I'm going to leave my leaf out because I'm going to use that. So I'm going to do I'm trying to see if I want to use, okay, maybe we'll do two more because I want to show you the other video as well. And as you can see, this stamp set, it has like sentiments on it. So if I see any of these sentiments, like I think this one right here would be nice to put sending happy thoughts on here. But sometimes your stamp sets come with sentiments to kind of help you out a little bit. Okay, all right, now we know this is going to be third. This second, and this first generation, because this is the outline. Okay, and this one I want to do this in another color. Let's see. Let's go with this stone wash. Yeah, let's see what a blue flower will look like. Okay, let me get another piece of paper. I've got paper, like scraps of paper that I keep under my desk in a basket for things like this. You know, when I just need extra paper. I dropped one somewhere. Oh, there it is. When I just need scraps of paper. Say if I'm working on a project and I'm cutting off part of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and I have like pieces like this left, I keep them for things like this. Okay, all right, so here's my next card base. Is that one or two? thick. It feels like 2. By the way, this is it's 1. It feels like 2. This is the Nina 110-pound cardstock that I'm using here. Okay. All right. Now, our first generation. Our first stamping is going to be, I'm trying to see how this goes. So, if I decide to put a, okay, it goes like that. If I decide to put a stem on it. Okay. So I'm going to move this one up a little bit in case I decide to put this stem on here. I need to make sure that's how I need to stamp it, like that. Okay. Alright. So let me go ahead and put it, position it where I'm going to need it to be. Okay. Clean off my MISTI because I got ink all over the place. Alright. So I'm going to move my project card up there and put this here. This is just to stamp off ink. I hope I'll be able to do a 3rd generation on this one. I may have to go back over it one time, but we'll see. But sometimes if it comes out light, like when we were testing it and the 3rd generation came out like really, really light, sometimes you can stamp it again, but we'll see, because I don't want it to be, you know, too much. And then it takes away from, and you don't want to press it a lot, you just want to press it enough to get the ink off, the first layer of ink off. Okay, then we're going to put this down and we're going to do, well, let me just try it. Let me just try it. And I don't recommend doing this on your project paper. I'm just doing this just to see what we got. Okay, and I don't have my little thing, so I'm just rubbing it with the. Okay, it came out pretty good. Okay, so that means my next one is going to be, so that's my 3rd generation. This is going to be my 2nd generation stamping. So that means I'm only going to take off 1 layer of ink. Okay, just 1 layer. Oh, I didn't change my stamp. See, this is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of mistakes you make when you're crafting. But I caught it before it became a huge mistake, right? Okay, so I'm going to layer this piece. I mean, you know, things happen when you're crafting. None of us are perfect, so you'll make little mistakes like that. And especially like, you know, I'm talking and I'm not really 100% focused. So, you know, it's bound to happen. Okay. Take off that first layer, and this is our 2nd. See how that's coming together? My ink pads are old, y'all. Look how they're splotching. I gotta replace my ink pads, because a lot of these I've had since I started stamping and have never refilled them. So, you know, it's time. Alright, let me see. Am I on there? Okay, now this time we're not going to take off any ink from the stamp. Okay, we're just going to stamp it and push it down. And there we go. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And it looks more like, and see how it came off a little bit? Like, can y'all see that? where I didn't totally line it up all the way, but that makes it pretty when it's not, like when it's kind of offset a little bit. Can y'all see that? Okay, so let's do, okay, we're done with this ink pad. This is stone wash, and I thought it was going to be more like denim, but it has more of like kind of a purple to it, and I like that. Okay, I'm trying to see if I want to just trying to see if I want to show you all. No, we'll do that in another video. We'll do another, never mind. We'll do that on another video. I was going to show you something, but it's going to take some time, and I don't want this video to be real long. So I'll show you what I'm thinking about on another video. So I'm going to position, I guess, my stem right there. And I'm trying to see if I want to do the veins, or if I just want to stamp it green, straight green. I wonder if I do, never mind, I'm just going to do straight green. Oh, move that over. Oh. Because what I was trying to see, and let me try something, because sometimes, especially when you have a stamping platform like the Misty or any type of stamping platform, you can do the third generation stamp, second generation stamping in this case, and keep adding ink and it'll get darker. So let's see if that'll happen here, rather than making my stem like I did this one. I did the second generation. Let's see. Like if I just keep stamping it, if I can get it dark. Oh, you can see it a little bit. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to do the second generation stamping in order to get these veins to show. And some of your flowers you may not have to. You just, can kind of play around. See how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. I love it. Okay, we're going to do this one last stamp and stamp set, and then I'm going to end the video. Okay. Y'all just bear with me for one moment. I'm just going to try to get these on the sheet, and I'll just straighten them out later, but I don't want to lose pieces, because I have lost stamp pieces because I didn't put them up right away, and then they get stuck on to something, and then later when I'm getting ready to work on a project, it's like my stamp is lost. So I usually try to get everything, even if I don't put it away, especially if I'm doing a video, for time's sake, I will just make sure it's on the sheet, whether it's organized or not. I just want to make sure I get all my pieces back in there. Alright, so this one is going to be this one is going to be, oh, I bet this would be pretty. Let's do this. Let's do this one. So this is going to be first and second generation. Okay. And I'm going to do this in that pale tomato. Okay. So I'm going to do the solid piece first. Alright, here's my card base. And then this right here, I'm just going to put at the bottom. I'm trying to think if I want to do more than one. Let's see. No, I'll just leave it like it is. Okay, so we're going to do the pale tomato. Alright, let me get my image on here. And sometimes your stamps will pull your paper up, and usually it's because it's a good quality stamp. Just put it back down. Let's see. I don't have but a few colors in these, in this particular brand. So I'm gonna just go on with the tomato. Okay, so this is gonna be my second generation. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stamp off the first layer of ink. Okay. Oh, that didn't stamp good. Oh, wait a minute. No. This ink pad might not be, it might be kind of dry. No, it's not. Okay. Just going to stamp off that first layer. And then on our card, we're going to stamp that second generation. Okay. It doesn't look the best, but it's okay. I gotta redo I gotta get some more stamps. And then I'm gonna line this up to the best of my ability. And I think that's it. And I'm gonna really have to wrap this up because I see that my battery is going down in my camcorder. But I just want to get this done. Now look how gorgeous that is. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I love it. Uh-oh, my magnets. No, they're attracted to each other. They're sticking together. Okay, so that is what layering and generational stamping is. And I'm probably gonna do this one off camera because I don't want to run out of I don't want my battery to run out on me and then you all miss some stuff. So that's what first, second, third generation stamping is, and layering is just stamping during your third generation, your second generation, your first generation to get your like your veins and stuff like that. The first generation is always going to be your outline. Remember that. Your second or third generation is always going to be your solid piece, and you're going to stamp it. You're going to put your ink on. You're going to stamp the first layer of ink off on a scrap piece of paper, and then you're going to go back and stamp it, and then you'll put your first generation on top of that, layer it, and then put your first generation on top of that. So I hope this has helped you learn another stamping technique, and I just wanted to come on and do this for you all. I was trying to think of something to do, and so this came to mind. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And there aren't any special announcements, so you all take care of yourselves and be blessed. Bye.